This is not another stream. This is the moment we show up. Real talk, real truth, real people, ready to ride. No filter, no fluff, just raw conversation that hits where it matters. Welcome to the revolution of you become you live. Let's do it live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hit it! Hey everyone, how are you? My name is William Rochelle, but you can call me Bill. And if anybody watched yesterday's UBU Live with S. Scott Mason, you would understand what realness is. You would understand how powerful that man is, and you will understand how powerful you are, because that's how good Scott Mason is. However, there's something that we talked about yesterday that had me thinking all day. And it's something personal, and it's something that I said on the show yesterday. And it's about finding your voice. You see, when I was a kid, I don't know how the rest of the world was raised, but when I was a kid, I was told speak when spoken to. I was taught to respect my elders, to stay in my place, and to be seen but not heard. And I get it. Those things were taught as a form of manners, discipline, and respect. But what no one tells you is that sometimes what starts as manners turns into silence. Silence. And that silence can follow you right into adulthood, into the classroom, into the conference room, and into the boardroom. You see, I was that kid that you guys probably all know that sat in the back, the one that did not want to raise my hand. You know, when the teacher looked, does anyone have the answer? My eyes would go down. Please don't see me. See, I didn't want to rock the boat. And later, I was the employee in the meeting who had thoughts, good ones, life-changing ones, but they were from me. But I second guessed whether or not I wanted to share them. Because deep down, I had learned that speaking out might come off as disrespectful, even when I knew I was right. And it wasn't until I found myself in a boardroom with the founders of a company, the CEO, and the leadership team that I don't know if I was a part of the leadership team yet, or I was like right, I was close enough to be invited to the meeting. Let's just say that. And in that event, it was in Beverly Hills. It was at a hotel. We had rented a conference room, I believe at La Meridian. Don't quote me on that one. But we took it off site because we didn't want any of it was something that we didn't want the entire staff to even know that were going on. And it a lot of times those meetings, it makes the team, the internal team, uncomfortable because they're walking past, the glass boardroom and trying to figure out why is everyone in there? Why is everyone looking so, anxious? But in that meeting, I hadn't said a word. And this guy named Marty, who was a developer, I would say about an hour before the meeting ended. And, again, as an adult, I was that kid, that didn't want to speak. So Marty turned and said, "Nobody's heard from Bill." And in that moment, everything shifted. And all eyes were on me, which was not a comfortable feeling. Then, when I finally opened my mouth and said, if you want your business to succeed, and before I could finish my sentence, Marty jumped up and said, you see, that's what I'm saying. That man leads one of the biggest parts of our organization. And he didn't say, if we want to succeed. He said, if you want it to succeed. And what that says is he does not feel as if he has a stake in the success of this business, which is not his fault. So Marty wasn't mad at me. Marty wasn't coming for me. Marty was rooting for me. And Marty was rooting for a business model that was more bottom up led than top down. So he was basically advocating that I would have more of a voice, and that others within the company should have more of a voice. And it had changed. But in that moment right there, that wasn't an ego shift. That was a mindset shift. Something I can't explain. It didn't just change how they saw me, it changed how I saw myself. I realized Marty didn't give me a voice. He reminded me I already had one. I had just been silencing myself. And I've been silencing myself forever. It's the only way I knew how to deal with life, was to sit back, to be seen but not heard, to speak when spoken to. Because when they turned and said, Bill hasn't spoken, I had something to say. But I never would have said it, because these are learned behaviors. These are behaviors that are taught, that you are taught from the moment that you are born, the way that your parents speak to you, the way that your parents encourage you, the way that your parents understand your uniqueness, your circle, all of it, all of it makes a difference. But here's the thing, it takes you to listen, and for the universe, God, Allah, whoever you Buddha, whoever you pray to, because I believe that we all have a higher power. I don't care who you what how you speak to him or her or them. Um, you need to listen. And when that voice speaks, sometimes it's speaking real softly. But Marty, no. Marty was bold, and Marty said it. He said it, and he reminded me. And from that day forward, I vowed to never stay silent again. I don't know what I just hit, but not just for me, right? But for everyone around me. So I became the Marty in every single meeting. I would make sure that everyone, no matter who they were there for 2 years, great. They were there for 10 years, great. They were there for 2 weeks, great. But let's hear from you, because you're part of making this organization better. I didn't just want to share my voice. I wanted to make sure that everyone understood what I didn't. That you have a voice, that it's important that you use it, that it is important that you are a part of the success of the organization, no matter where you are. Because Having a voice isn't about being loud. It's about being clear, being real, and being heard. Now, don't get me wrong, I still believe in respect, but I also believe in truth. I also believe that you should be you. And sometimes the most respectful thing you can do is speak it. You won't always win. Lord knows I wish I did, because I think I'm always right. But some ideas will land, some ideas will crash, some will evolve into something even better. Like, okay, we're not going to take that the way you said it, but we're going to take this piece of it and then we're going to put that with Marty's piece. And then let's figure out how we can make it into something workable. But you know what? Unless you open your mouth and speak, it never will happen. You never will know. So today, I want to leave you with this. If you haven't, find your voice, speak your truth, pick your battles, yes, because you don't always have to speak, but don't silence your brilliance to keep the peace. Say what needs to be said, then listen with intent to others. Look around you, be aware, because we are all here for a reason. We are spirits connected for a reason, and we're here to uplift each other for a reason. So look around and make sure that there's not another little Billy out there sitting in the corner, shrinking just so he can get by his day without having to speak. Because the best decisions come from when every voice at the table is heard. So I didn't speak for myself. Marty spoke for me. I want you to have your voice. But if you're in that meeting and you realize that Cheryl has never spoken, don't call her out, but say, hey guys, Cheryl, do you have anything that you want to suggest? We haven't heard from you today. I want to thank everyone for spending the time for spending this moment with me. We are live. Tomorrow we're going to have an amazing UBU Live special edition with Lanier Johnston. And the reason why that's so amazing is dun, 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 we are going to do a live makeover for all of you to see. So, you know how people, have that like before and after? We have someone that is in the job market and has agreed to allow the Lanier Johnston linkability to do their magic on his profile. And I believe his resume, but don't quote me on that part. But so we're going to do it. We're going to do it live tomorrow. They've already gone through their outline. I don't know anything about, well, I saw one thing, but I don't know anything about like what they've processed. I haven't read what they've sent back and forth. I did put something into the feed and Lanier told me to shut up. So I shut up. But thank you everyone for spending this moment with me. As you can see, I have found my voice. I can talk. Take care of yourself, and I will see you tomorrow. And if anyone has any questions, you know where to find me. You can find me on YouTube. You can find me on LinkedIn. You can find me on Spotify, on Apple Podcasts, on Substack. And I would ask everyone out there, if you're not already doing it, follow me. That makes a great big difference. And if you are watching me on YouTube, or if you Go to YouTube to see any of the other things that I'm doing, which include music and my creative posts and my articles, um, as well as Substack. Join, like, comment. All of that helps the algorithm and then helps, us reach more people. Thank you for being a part of this.